Yo, did you see the business cards I sent over? Just about 30 minutes ago. I just sent the first one, but I think I'm gonna replace it again with another title. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a CEO. You know. I think I'm more of a chief coffee hunter and fit well. I think one of the interesting things about just my life in general is that I walk around generally oblivious to everything going on and fall ass backwards into opportunity somehow.
Time to get some work done.
I remember starting Cafe Creole and being like, I need to come up with about $200,000 or $300,000. And all my friends at the time and my family were kind of like, okay, yeah, that's cute. You're gonna go to Haiti and buy some coffee and try and help people create jobs. And there's no one that's gonna give you that kind of money.
It's really important that it looks like
Es muy
this.
importante que se vea como este otro.
What happens with that is
Lo
that
que pasa con este que está
a
señalando
roaster will roast it, and the parts that are thinner will be roasted faster,
y las partes que
and the
están
parts
más
that are thicker,
delgadas, están gruesas,
so the taste will be
se
really
van a tardar
off.
más.
Less than 30 days later, investors had bought shares in the company and we were able to move forward and do what we said. And things just kind of one after another line up for me. I would say that most of the credit does need to go to God for just honestly lining up opportunity after opportunity. So taking off here. When I was 12, I started smoking pot and just taking painkillers, other type of opiates. By the time I graduated, my painkiller addiction had progressed to heroin. I moved in with a girl that I was dating at the time, and we just decided that being on tour with some bands was a better option than going to class. So we started driving around the country and just going to see different electronic music, selling drugs at the shows. I started apprenticing at a pot farm actually in Northern California. And then I learned how to like crossbreed different plants. I got really interested in the flavor profiles of different pot plants, the differences of the high it would give you, how to crossbreed to get certain things that you were looking for, what the difference was between sativa and I don't even know what the hell the other one's called anymore because it's been so long since I've used it.
How much yellow catuai is here?
¿Cuánto catuay amarillo hay acá?
No, el catuay amarillo sale muy poco, uno que otro palo.
Very little.
It's always like that because it's a mutation. I just wonder if people can replant it.
The problem is that Catimor and Lempira,
y el Empira
they are part Robusta
son parte robusta.
and part Arabica, so
part
it's not
Arabica.
all Arabica.
No es
I know though that
completamente
they
arábica. Sé
are
que-
immune to rust, leaf rust,
que es
La Roya.
inmune a la roya.
So there's benefit.
Hay
I understand
beneficio.
that. I ended up getting a connection down in Tijuana to bring in heroin. I remember we would take basketballs and cut them open and kind of stick the tar to the insides of the basketball, dress with basketball jerseys and pretend we were going down to Tijuana for, put on a basketball camp for the kids, and it worked. I did get caught a couple times in California with drugs. Longest time I ever did in jail out there wasn't very long. It was only about 3 months or so. That just kind of thing progressed and progressed, and anyone who's addicted to things like heroin or crack that I was using as well, you get to points when you don't have a lot of money and you need to get your fix. And so there was times when we had to hold people up. So the car won't start again. Pretty typical in Haiti. Caught in a rainstorm. We're about 3 hours from the airport. We have to get on a plane tomorrow morning. The police were tracking me, but there was one night when I was kind of sick of being dope sick off of not having heroin. I ended up just deciding I was gonna take my life. I got my gun and there was actually no bullets left in it at the time. I went to buy some at the store and I guess they detected that I was drunk and smelled like liquor and would not sell me any. And so I went back home just deciding that I was gonna go first thing in the morning and do it. I remember praying for the first time, I think, really that night. I apologized for the way I turned out and I just asked for forgiveness. I did go to sleep, waiting for morning, trying to tough through the pain of being sick, and I woke up a few hours later and the police had raided the house and I had 6 cops on me with guns drawn. They had arrested me with 24 felonies at the time.
We added a different variety to this area of the farm. ¿Cómo se llama?
Para Inema.
And the variety, it's called the para Inema.
So I got locked up that time and detoxed in a cell for about 7 days. When I was done detoxing, they put me in general population and the library cart came around, and from there I picked up a Bible off the cart. Just started at the beginning of the Bible, not really knowing what to make of it, but knowing that something divinely had kept me from killing myself, and that I believe that God was trying to, push me towards him somehow. As I started reading, a deputy came around to my cell who was doing his rounds, and he asked me what I was reading, and I told him I didn't know. And he told me that it'd be best to start with the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and so I did so. I did feel like the Bible was living, breathing scripture that was breathing life into me at the time, and I just prayed for the first time in June of 2009 to Christ, and I would say that it was more of a burning bush experience than anything else, where my life changed at once, my heart changed, my desires changed, and so I just followed what my desires were at that moment, which was to follow God. What? He said Cathy Moore also? Cathy Moore?
No, paguen Cathy Moore.
No, okay, good. I forgot how to say like. No reme Cathy Moore. I started Cafe Creole after I went down to Haiti for the first time after the earthquake. The week went okay. We went down and it was a pretty standard week-long church missions trip. We read Bible stories to children through a translator and painted a wall and came home. And I guess that I witnessed a lot of depravity that Haiti had, and I felt that our painting of a wall was not really that useful, and really wanted to find out how I can help the people better. One of the things that I decided at that point was that employment was one of the best options, being that they are 65% unemployment in Haiti. We do direct trade, and our entire goal is to create sustainable jobs in Haiti and other places if we have the opportunity to do so. So like, we pay our farmers more, which is pretty unheard of.
Yeah.
My Haitian farmers are getting paid like $4 a pound for their coffee, which is pretty high. So Haiti's my primary focus. Cafe Creole means Haitian coffee. On top of that though, we have branched out to maintain the same direct trade business model in several other countries. And we do that to work with some small growers that wouldn't be able to export otherwise, help them with their quality so that we have a fantastic product, and pay them more for doing an exceptional job so that they have a way to get paid more, and we get something that's of good value here to add to our menu of coffees.
¿Creen que un negocio familiar produce un café de mejor calidad?
Porque lo hacemos con amor y lo hacemos con mucho compromiso.
There's a lot of companies out there that are doing coffee with a cause. That's really big right now. There's a lot of coffees out there that are doing some really exceptional coffee too, some amazing specialty coffee. There's not a lot that are doing both, I think, and Cafe Creole offers that by really pre-harvest financing farmers that have a lot of potential, getting their quality up to an amazingly exceptional level, and just doing it with the aspect of helping them to create their own business and treat their farm as something that can profit for them.
There goes my man.
I just wish I had another job. Like we could find something more exciting to do with our time. I'm getting so sick of this, honestly. It's interesting that my past has been able to be such a resource for what I'm doing now with my coffee business, and how God honestly has used everything that I was doing, bringing drugs into the country, of all drugs, heroin, making crack, selling them to people, just contributing to the problems of the world. And through that, just learning how to do business, honestly, how to get things across a border. You know, smuggling's kind of like importing with less paperwork. Just being able to buy and sell things and do business. I would say that like just crossbreeding plants in general, it was funny apprenticing on that pot farm. I learned a lot that I use now when I'm helping farmers to come up with specific flavor profiles or plants that will be immune to some sort of a coffee plant disease, or just crossing things to get whatever we need coffee-wise, whether it's more production per plant or whether it's a bigger or smaller plant. I've been able to kind of take everything that I learned from that and use it with what I'm doing now that actually benefits people, that provides jobs to people in poverty. Scripture says that God uses the foolish to shame the wise, and often he uses people that are generally incapable of doing things to just show his glory and his power. I think we're listening to them right now. I'm just throwing things at you.
No, el otro año. Porque ya esta cosecha de este año ya está pasando.